There's one cryptocurrency project that has just hit a record milestone and really blows majority of layer ones, if not all layer ones, out of the water. And they have just surpassed 4 billion transactions on their live mainnet. Of course, for many of you that have watched my videos in the past, I am talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or the HBAR token, which is of course native to this particular DLT. The sheer scale and number of transactions processed, I will show as a comparison with other layer ones in a second, just to put it into perspective of how much of a milestone this is. Not only that as well, we can see currently I'm on Hedera transactions. We're sitting at nearly 800 transactions per second. And of course, majority of this, 95% of these transactions are coming from one enterprise use case being built by Avery Dennison. Of course, that is the 𝗟𝗚𝗡 connected cloud platform, which is of course immutably logging the journey of billions of items. I think it was 20 billion items off the top of my head, multiple different transactions per item. We will be seeing billions of transactions annually from this single use case. And of course, we still have the sort of notion that we'll be seeing up to 80 enterprise use cases or use cases in general going live on the Hedera mainnet in Q1 of this year. Of course, we are partially nearly halfway through this particular quarter, just over halfway through the quarter for 2023, and we should start seeing some of those deploy live. Not only that as well, the estimated value of tokenized securities continues to increase on Hedera. This is of course another one of the mainstream use cases. DLA Piper, who is one of the governing council members, does have an integrated tokenization platform called Toko, which mates nicely with the Hedera token service. And this has the ability to enhance the performance, security, and stability of enterprise-grade digital assets. Now, this actually slipped my radar and many prominent members of the community, but they have already tokenized over 500 million worth of securities in 2021 alone. We have no updated figures for 2022, but they are tokenizing real-world assets immutably on Hedera Hashgraph. And of course, this will continue to expand well out into the future as effectively Hedera begins to scale. We see more enterprise use cases come online. We see more developer activity day by day, week by week. 2023 has been a fantastic year so far already for Hedera, and we're only 2.5 months into this year. So over the past 30 days as well, the Hedera mainnet has processed nearly 1.4 billion transactions, with an average of 514 transactions per second. We also reached a max TPS or throughput of 8,061 transactions per second. And of course, you can check all that out on Metrica's sort of dashboard, transaction volume and TPS by service. I will leave links to that down in the description. Now, in terms of comparison, I saw this infographic, which made me dig out my old infographic stuff and put together some fresh figures. This was submitted by CoinMarketCap. And funnily enough, they decided to omit Hedera Hashgraph. Layer 1 or Layer 2s by daily transactions. We can see Solana there right at the top, with Cosmos Hub being right at the bottom. This was last updated week 1 of February, so February the 7th, 2023. Now, of course, everyone knows that majority of the Solana transactions are actually not true or real transactions, and many people make that comparison with Hedera Hashgraph. So here's an updated infographic in my typical style. How many transactions a day do layer 1 cryptocurrency networks process? In descending order, we've got Hedera, followed by Solana, BNB chain or the Binance token, Polygon, AVAX or Avalanche, Ethereum, Algorand, Near, and Cardano. So daily transactions, Hedera is processing nearly 48 million transactions on the daily. You've got Solana with around 19 million, 3.3 million for BNB. You've got Polygon at 2.8 million, Avalanche at 1.8 million, Ethereum just over 1 million transactions daily. Algorand processes around 664,000, the Near protocol 445,000, and Cardano just shy of 55,000. And this was week 7 of 2023. So the figures were from the 13th/14th of February. So really recent information. The too long didn't read synopsis of this though, is that HBAR processes up to 87,000% more transactions daily than some layer ones. The some layer ones, of course, I am referring to here is of course Cardano. So Hedera daily is processing 87,000% more transactions than Cardano is. Now, what's even more interesting is, of course, if you compare the market caps of those two different projects, of course, Cardano being one of the top 10 cryptocurrency projects, and it is processing a sliver of what Hedera is capable of doing. Now, if I literally scroll through majority of the comments I've already received on this tweet, is people saying, I don't think HBAR is really managing those numbers. Something seems exaggerated like Solana, etc. I've seen that Hedera, lightning fast speed and crazy transactions sold on Reddit and basically everywhere looks weird and inorganic if you ask me. Now, of course, majority of people have this reaction immediately until they begin to understand the underlying technology of why this is actually possible, as well as what is being built behind the scenes. So obviously I've responded to a majority of these comments, but I will sort of sum it up in this video. Solana's figures are really high because they register on-chain votes as transactions. I must clarify as well, actually. I did put down here, so I have actually corrected Solana's transactions to display non-vote transactions, therefore they are real. But Solana registers on-chain votes as transactions. Hedera does not do this, like every other layer 1. These are 100% immutable, real transactions. The vast majority are being submitted by 𝗟𝗜𝗏. Of course, there's plenty of videos online of 𝗟𝗏𝗡 or 𝗟𝗜𝗏 showing how they're doing this by recording events to the ledger, and any party can transparently understand the trust and provenance of that information. And of course, 𝗟𝗏𝗡.io is effectively labels on the back of clothing. 𝗟𝗜𝗏 work with and provide the labeling for some of the largest apparel brands globally. So the takeaway is, unlike other ledgers, the transactions on Hedera are all real and have all been paid for with those incredibly low fixed fees in US dollars of $0.0001 per transaction. The Hedera consensus service enables fair ordering of these events as well, which are of course being stored immutably. You can literally verify that on any of the scan websites like Hashscan, for example. And of course, again, all in a decentralized manner. Finally, timestamps as well, or finality of timestamp with ABFT security. No other public ledger can guarantee fairness and security with the conjunction of speed like Hedera can. And the more people that sort of see this information and are disbelievers to begin with, then begin to understand that Hedera is actually the real deal when it comes to this kind of technology. This is not smoke and mirrors like in the examples of what Solana may report on terms of those headline figures. These are actually real transactions that are being paid for by real businesses on a DLT. So hopefully that clears up some of that, what's going on. Not only that as well, UFOs are cool, but if you ever used SaucerSwap's DEX on Hedera, leverage the power of DeFi on the hash graph with Pangolin, Stader, HeliSwap, HBAR Suite, BubbleSwap, Lehman Swap, and of course SaucerSwap. And this just shows the speed of Hedera. Not only are we processing that many transactions, if we actually look at the confirmation time or the finality of that transaction via a DEX, for example, we can see Hedera comes in at the lowest as well in comparison to anything else that's currently available at 8 seconds. Typically as well, finality is slightly faster than that at 4.5 to 5 seconds. You've got Phantom there at 12 seconds. Avalanche with Trader Joe at 15, QuickSwap on Polygon at 16 seconds, Uniswap V3 we're starting to jump up now in how long it takes to process at nearly 30 seconds, BNB Chain at 32, Tron is at over a minute, and then Cardano is taking 1 minute 30 to process a transaction on MinSwap. Imagine submitting your transaction to swap your Cardano tokens for USDT and then waiting 1.5 minutes for that to register in your wallet for your updated balance. Hedera is a complete and utter game changer. And of course, I've been talking about it for nearly 18 months at this point. Anyway, let's jump into some macro stuff and then also sentiment stuff, I should say. The Coinbase CEO, off the back of that recent news regarding staking, says they will happily defend their staking services in court if required or needed following the Kraken SEC charges. This is really good that Coinbase are willing to stand up for staking in a court of law and defend it with an army of lawyers. Again, this is fantastic for the crypto space as a whole. Many people that recently have been talking about the SEC as effectively being equivalent to a mafia or a mob going after people they don't particularly like. And it's good to see that majority of the crypto space are banding together to fight for what is reasonable. Of course, we all want protection from financial regulatory boards to make sure centralized exchanges aren't effectively gambling our deposits. But at the same time, we don't want our avenues all being closed down on a whim. It's great to see. Visa as well is continuing to expand with partnering with Wirex to issue crypto debit card to users in over 40 countries. So of course, we've spoken about Visa and MasterCard. These guys as well clearly know the writings on the wall for what the potential of blockchain and DLT poses in the future in terms of financial payment settlements. And of course, they are looking to expand their offering across into the cryptocurrency spaces and even as well adopt some different technologies in order to help process those. Binance as well as many others are also saying ChatGPT helps benefit crypto adoption as well as education. So of course we've got Bing, the Bing integration, Microsoft with ChatGPT, and of course we've got Google looking at its offerings as well. Things will begin to be heating up between these two tech giants as we turn this into a bit of a slugging match, I think, as we enter the next age of sort of the internet as we so currently experience it. This will be really interesting though as well, as there'll be a lot more information at people's fingertips, with a lot more sort of sourcing and fact checking enabled to happen or occur at a much faster pace. Bullish for that. Some other seriously huge news as well for Hedera is potentially a massive partnership looming on the horizon. Shopify has been exploring new blockchain technologies and developing its solutions with its partnership with Hedera Hashgraph and Consensus. The Shopify has launched comprehensive blockchain suites for merchants, and one of those is they are looking at Hedera Hashgraph. So Shopify has a history of integrating blockchain solutions into its platform to improve payment processing, security, and scalability. In 2019, Shopify added Bitcoin Lightning payments for merchants, allowing for low-cost, fast payments for its customers. Since then, it has partnered with several blockchain platforms such as Coin Payments and OpenBazaar to add features such as automatic merchant payroll and secure customer authentication. It's also integrated blockchain technology into its point of sale and e-commerce systems to facilitate seamless transactions. Finally, though, Shopify is exploring new blockchain technologies and developing its solutions within its partnership with Hedera Hashgraph and Consensus. So potentially sometime in the future, Shopify merchants and stores, or these websites that are effectively being built on the back end of Shopify, could leverage Hedera for payments, and you'll be able to pay for your things on the Shopify stores with HBAR. And of course, Shopify is an absolute conglomerate in the tech and e-sales world or e-commerce world online, and this would be an stellar partnership, particularly for, again, adoption of Hedera Hashgraph, showing the ability of the DLT technology, as well as the potential improvements that it could have for speed and security of recognizing those transactions. Some of you may have seen as well inside your Hedera wallets that you've got some 𝗟𝗘𝗙 tokens that have appeared. Check your wallets. 𝗟𝗘𝗙 did actually do an airdrop to all Hedera wallets that had associated the 𝗟𝗘𝗙 token prior to 11 a.m. ET this morning. So if you guys watched my video, way back in 2022 when we looked at buying some 𝗟𝗘𝗙 tokens on an exchange and then sending them across to your Hashpack wallet or Hedera wallet, you would have, of course, had to associate that 𝗟𝗘𝗙 token in order to do so. So if you still hold some tokens, or even if you sold those tokens, because you associated the 𝗟𝗘𝗙 token, when they took this snapshot, your wallet would have been eligible to receive some 𝗟𝗘𝗙 tokens. I think it was around $100. So if you did associate that previously and you watching my videos, you probably got an extra $100 sat inside your wallet as part of this airdrop. So more than 500,000 𝗟𝗘𝗙 tokens distributed across 1,375 wallets. I do believe as well we will be having some more news about the 𝗟𝗟𝗙 app soon, as there's been some murmurings across on Twitter. Of course, I'll keep you guys up to date if any of that information does come out. Dynamic NFTs are also coming to Hedera. This is, of course, really exciting new feature, which has many different interesting applications and use cases, which we'll see being utilized in Hedera ecosystem in the near future, including by Citadel Wallet, of course, the new hardware wallet. The dynamic NFT HIP, or Hedera Improvement Proposal, is in last call. Huge community effort on this one. Big thank you to fellow HBARbarians and Patches for championing this. And effectively what this does is allow mutable metadata fields for dynamic NFTs. And then this could be used to create sort of different types of NFTs that can change metadata, airdrops of new NFTs potentially, or maybe like burn mechanisms for switching out different metadata information on these NFTs, which is of course a really cool feature, and again helps to expand the offerings of the HCS and HTS services. Not only that, HBAR has been confirmed as being ISO 222 compliant. That shouldn't be new news to any of you guys that watch these videos. I did do a video probably again about 6 or 7 months ago breaking down ISO 222 compliance and the misinformation around it, and the fact that Hedera itself actually was already ISO 222 compliant, because it's not per se HBAR that has to be, it's the things being built on top of HBAR, but I digress. Australian Payments Plus AP brings together Australia's 3 domestic payments providers, BPay Group, EFTPOS and NPP Australia, into one integrated entity. And we can see here innovation for micropayments for internet transactions in the United States, the Australian Payments Plus national digital payments provider, built on Hashgraph or built on Hedera. We can see down here in the bottom left and in the bottom right, Australia, and I've said this before, the APAC, the Asia Pacific region, are seriously big on utilizing and leveraging Hedera. They are at the forefront of majority of this cryptocurrency expansion, and they will be the ones that benefit the most because they will be getting in early, building this infrastructure and rolling it out to reap the benefits. And we are beginning to see this as well with Australia. So absolute massive props to the companies and I guess management teams that are working it there to find Hedera, dig it out and sort of build these systems. But yeah, this is absolutely massive. You're effectively looking at the 3 largest payment providers domestically in Australia, all building this in one integrated entity, all running on Hedera. Again, this could be one of those massive enterprise use cases, which of course drive even more transactions and, continue to increase the good name that Hedera has. And of course, there's some information about ISO 222 message capabilities. So, payroll applications, tax payments, superannuation payments, e-invoicing payments, just all sorts of different stuff that can be done via that standard. Anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Tons of great stuff happening at the moment for Hedera. And of course, I am all over it. Been doing videos now for since the beginning of 2022. So 14 months or so. Been a bit of a ride, and hopefully you guys are benefiting from the recent price action. Of course, I will continue to be putting out videos on a somewhat regular basis for you guys. If you do enjoy these videos, make sure you leave a like, drop a comment, try and share them if you can, get the word out. Of course, you can always follow me over on Twitter as well. Make sure you subscribe for future ones, and I'll catch you then. Cheers.